Give a black man a chance and he will prove to you that he is capable. Coming from a country in West Africa, he rose through the ranks to become a driving force in the United Nations. Kofi Annan was challenged by world superpowers including France, who vetoed 4 times to prevent him from becoming UN Secretary General. In all the struggles, he stood his grounds and had faith. In the end, he emerged victorious. This is the story of Kofi Annan, from a humble beginning to becoming one of the world's most powerful leaders. Stay tuned for yet another story of a great African leader. Welcome to African Dream Motivation. Kofi Annan was born on 8th April 1938 in Kumasi, Gold Coast, now Ghana. In a period where education was not something most people considered necessary, Kofi Annan took it very seriously and aimed for academic excellence. He attended Infantipim School, which was a Methodist boarding school in Cape Coast. In 1958, he began studying economics at Kumasi College of Science and Technology. His performance was outstanding and was fortunate to have received the Ford Foundation grants, which enabled him to continue to do his undergraduate studies in economics at Macalester College in St. Paul, Minnesota, United States. After which he had his master's at MIT. He was fluent in English, French, Akan, some Kru languages, as well as some other African languages. In 1962, he started working as a budget officer for the World Health Organization. From 1974 to 1990, he held several positions in the United Nations, including the head of personnel for the Office of the UN High Commission for Refugees in Geneva, the Director of Administrative Management Services of the UN Secretariat in New York, an Assistant Secretary General for Human Resource Management and Security Coordinator for the UN system, Assistant Secretary General for Program Planning, Budget and Finance, and Control. Getting to the late 1990s, Annan's influence on the international front was overwhelming. His competencies were clearer than ever, and he excelled in whatever he was assigned to. He worked closely with the then Secretary General, Boutros Boutros-Ghali. Annan's way of handling issues made him a favorite of the United States, and moving forward, he was recognized as the ideal replacement for Boutros Boutros-Ghali. In 1996, Secretary General Boutros Boutros-Ghali ran and won a second term, but was denied by the United States. After a series of meetings of the Security Council, Boutros Boutros-Ghali suspended his candidacy. He therefore became the first Secretary General who was denied a second term. Kofi Annan, who had already proven himself beyond reasonable doubt, was the favorite candidate to fill the gap. It wasn't easy, since France stood their ground to prevent it from happening. France vetoed 4 times before abstaining. He was then recommended by the UN Security Council on 13 December 1996. And 4 days later, he was confirmed by the General Assembly.
We have just taken action to appoint the next Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Kofi Annan.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have done me a great honor and at the same time bestowed a great responsibility in electing me the 7th Secretary General of the United Nations. As a son of Africa and as a lifetime international civil servant, I pledge to you that I will do everything within my power to be worthy of your trust. Mr. President and members of the General Assembly, I accept the high post you have entrusted to me, humbled by the formidable challenges that lie ahead, but filled with confidence in the nobility of our goals, in the determination of our common spirit, and in the success of our common effort. Alone, I can do nothing. Together, we can irreversibly advance the frontiers of peace, dignity, justice for all mankind.
On 1st January 1997, he started his first term as UN Secretary General. He became the first West African to be appointed to the position and the second African after Boutros Ghali. After proving his competence once again, he won a second term and served until 2006. He worked hard to contribute his quota to world peace and stability. Kofi Annan and the UN were co-recipients of the 2001 Nobel Peace Prize. After his retirement, he continued to work with the United Nations, African Union, heads of states, NGOs, and other international bodies to promote peace. In 2007, the presidential election in Kenya turned bloody. There was an outbreak of uncontrollable violence, and the African Union had to do something. Kofi Annan's services were employed as he headed a panel of eminent African personalities who worked towards peaceful reconciliation process in Kenya.
We agree that it was important not to sweep matters under the carpet, that we need to understand and know what happened during the 2007 presidential elections. We have therefore agreed that it would be in the interest of everyone and the nation to establish an independent review committee that would be mandated to investigate all aspects of the 2007 presidential election and would make findings and recommendations to improve the electoral process.
After 41 days of negotiation, the parties involved, President Mwai Kibaki's Party of National Unity and Raila Odinga's Orange Democratic Movement, came to an agreement to stop the violence, and on 28 February, President Mwai Kibaki and Raila Odinga signed a coalition government agreement. This was a big step for peace and stability in Kenya. Also in 2007, he founded the Kofi Annan Foundation, which was a not-for-profit organization with the aim of promoting better governance and also strengthening the capabilities of people and countries to achieve a fairer, more peaceful world. He was the chairman of the Elders, an international organization founded by Nelson Mandela to help solve international crises. On 4th September 2012, he co-authored a memoir entitled Interventions, A Life in War and Peace, and was published by Penguin Press. The book became an international bestseller and has been described as a personal biography of global statecraft. On 18th August 2018, the global icon passed on in Bern, Switzerland at the age of 80. His family explained that he was sick for just a short time. The world was hit once again with the passing of one of Africa's greatest peacemakers 5 years after Nelson Mandela died. Ghanaians in the world were in great mourning. And looking back, It was indeed a life well lived. His body was returned to Ghana from Geneva, and at the Kotoka International Airport, a brief ceremony was held on 10th September prior to the actual funeral ceremony. His coffin was drafted in the blue UN flag and was accompanied by his family and senior diplomats from the UN. On 13 September 2018, a state funeral was held for Kofi Annan at the Accra International Conference Center. The ceremony was attended by a lot of dignitaries worldwide, including Ethiopian President Mulatu Teshome, Ivorian President Alassane Ouattara, Liberian President George Maneria, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, the former Queen of Netherlands, Queen Beatrice, and her daughter-in-law, Princess Mabel, and many others from around the world. A private burial followed the funeral service at the new military cemetery at Bema Camp, with full military honors and a sounding of last post by army buglers and a 17-gun salute.
President Akufo-Addo and the people of his beloved Ghana, and extending to every corner of the globe. To the many members of the United Nations community who grieve the passing of one of our own. Since the shock of Kofi's death, I've been reflecting on what made him so special. And to my mind, it is simply this. Kofi Annan was both one of a kind and one of us. He was an exceptional global leader, and he was also someone virtually anyone in the world could see themselves in. Those on the far reaches of poverty, conflict and despair, who always found in him an ally. The junior UN staffer following in his footsteps. The young person to whom he said until his dying breath, and I quote, "Always remember, you are never too young to lead, and we are never too old to learn."
Antonio Guterres, the current UN Secretary General, said, "Kofi Annan was a champion for peace and a guiding force for good. He was a man who saw the pain in the world and didn't just sit down and watch. He did his best to make the world a better place. No man can single-handedly do it all. The violence, greediness, and selfishness in this world are beyond an individual's ability. But as Kofi Annan said, we need to keep the hope alive and strive to do better. Do what you can today and make your world better than you were given." Kofi was a great diplomat, and the world will never forget his legacy. If he went beyond reasonable doubt to get to the highest honor in the United Nations, nothing is impossible if you believe. If Kofi Annan could do it, you also can. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, kindly like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell so that you don't miss any new video we upload.